Hey everyone, today I'm sharing my journey with long COVID and POTS. Over the past year, I've been able to connect with a few people dealing with similar struggles, and it's reminded me that none of us are truly alone in this. If you're facing post-viral syndrome, ME/CFS, dysautonomia, POTS, or one of those conditions doctors don't always have answers for, I want to encourage you, there's hope. Every day I'm learning something new about managing this condition and trying different strategies to feel even a little better. My hope with this channel is to share what I've learned, what I'm still figuring out, and hopefully give you something helpful for your own journey. So a little bit about me, my name's Anders and I'm a pre-med student. I had to step away from school 10 months ago when I was developing long COVID and POTS, something I never imagined happening. I'm not a medical professional, so please be sure to see your doctor to rule out other serious conditions and get proper care. I would also love to hear your story. If this is something you've been dealing with too, drop a comment below. I will read every one and would be honored to pray for you. All right, let's get into it. So I'd finished a lot of work activities and wrapped up a challenging year at school. I was really looking forward to relaxing, maybe just doing a few volunteer things here and there for a month. Honestly, I was exhausted, but even when I'm worn out, I've never let my fatigue tendencies keep me from going to the gym or giving life everything I've got. Maybe that's part of the reason why my health fell off a cliff. In August 2024, I caught COVID. It was a tough week. I fought through some breathless nights, but like always, I thought it would just disappear in a few days, and it did, or at least I thought it did. I figured I'd get it right back to normal life, go for a run, and keep moving. But then that same day, I ended up in urgent care, not knowing if my chest pain was a heart attack, myocarditis, or something else entirely. And my anxiety definitely made it worse. It felt serious, unfamiliar, and heavy in my chest. Thankfully, my chest x-ray and troponin, and it was all normal. I was relieved that this wasn't an acute problem, but what followed was months of doctor's appointments, and while I was really fortunate to have access to excellent care at a top institution, I wasn't given a lot of answers. My doctors never dismissed my symptoms at all, but it felt like there just wasn't much out there for people like me. Everything on paper looked normal, but it didn't feel normal at all. The one diagnosis I did receive was POTS, and even then my cardiologist told me it wasn't the most helpful diagnosis because it doesn't change the treatment plan much. Electrolytes and fluids to boost blood volume. In other words, drink more water. So maybe you've been through something like this too, or maybe your story is completely different. But either way, I know there are a lot of people out there who feel like they don't belong under any specific diagnoses, like they're incurable and overlooked. And one thing I've been hearing is that diagnoses like chronic fatigue syndrome and the ones I had mentioned earlier, they can be really vague. So they're often just umbrella terms for people who don't neatly fit into a rigid medical category. And I want you to feel seen. I want you to feel understood in whatever you're facing. Now, there's so much information out there, and I totally fell into the trap of chasing it. Going down an endless rabbit hole trying to figure out what was wrong with me. It became this exhausting cycle of anxiety on top of all my other symptoms. Speaking of symptoms, here's what I've experienced over the past 10 months on and off. Brace yourself. General fatigue, suppressed appetite, regurgitation of food, chest pain, forced breathing, orthostatic intolerance, activity intolerance, headaches, random sharp pains throughout my body, nausea, cold and numb hands and feet, and brain fog with dizziness. Okay. I know that's a lot, and in the beginning it was a lot. It kept me mostly bedridden for a couple of months. The good news is many of these symptoms, they have improved. I think part of it is just time doing its thing, and part of it is that I've made an intentional effort to really care for my body. Sometimes that's meant gently pushing myself to get stronger even when it was hard. That said, I still deal with plenty of symptoms, lingering fatigue, occasional chest pain, and cold hands and feet, to name a few. But here's the thing. If I've been able to come this far, I truly believe I can keep going. And this journey, as rough as it's been, will be worth it. I know how frustrating it is when clear answers don't come. So lately I've actually been reading a book that seems interesting. It might help fill in some of the missing pieces of the puzzle for me. I haven't really found a resource that really speaks to my experience in a helpful, practical way, and I haven't finished this book. I just started it, and I want to be clear, this is not a sponsorship or anything. It's not a plug. Just wanted to share what I've discovered in case it helps you in your own situation. But before I get into that, I want to share a little bit about the heart behind this channel. First and foremost, I want you to feel supported. I want to help you learn the things I'm learning in a way that's accessible and easy to digest. So I'll keep you updated with the strategies I've tried and what's helped, what hasn't, so we can learn together. Secondly, I want you to feel loved and encouraged. Healing is not just about our physical bodies. I believe we're made of mind, body, and spirit. Every life matters and every story deserves to be recognized. For me, my faith is what gives me strength to keep taking this one day at a time, trusting that there's purpose in this even if I don't fully see it yet. One verse that I've held on to through this is from 2 Corinthians 4:16 through 18. It goes, "We do not lose heart. Though our outer self is wasting away, our inner self is being renewed day by day. For this light momentary affliction is preparing us for an eternal weight of glory beyond all comparison as we look not to the things that are seen, but to the things that are unseen." So whether you're a Christian or not, I believe hope is essential. And I believe God is the source of that hope. My hope for you is that you'll experience a kind of peace that isn't based on how you feel or what you're going through, but on the truth that you have value and your life has purpose, even in weakness. If you stuck around this long, thank you. Seriously, thank you for taking the time to watch and listen. Like I mentioned before, I'm currently reading a book and it's called CFS Unraveled by Daniel Neufer. This is not a paid thing. I'm just someone trying to figure it out. And if you want to come along for the ride, you're welcome here. And what drew me to this book is that it's written by someone who's actually been through it. Before his health collapsed, Daniel was a physicist working in applied science and engineering. After dealing with CFS, fibromyalgia, and POTS himself, he used his background in complex systems to try to get to the root of chronic illness. So it'll be interesting to see how that perspective applies to conditions like long COVID, post-viral fatigue, and autonomic nervous system dysfunction, especially since so many of us have overlapping symptoms. Now, even though this book wasn't written for long COVID specifically, a lot of what he talks about applies. He takes a holistic root cause approach, which I appreciate because chasing every individual symptom can feel pretty overwhelming. And while he's not a doctor, I think there's value in learning from people who've experienced success firsthand. So thank you again for sticking with me to the end of this video. I really appreciate you listening to my story. I hope together we can keep learning and moving forward. Even if we don't find a cure, even if some of the answers remain unclear, there's still so much meaning to be found in the waiting. I believe it's an invitation to grow, to gain wisdom, to connect with each other through these shared experiences. So praying you find a little more peace today. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.